What's up, everyone? This is Ronnie with Hart Pickers, and this is Mr. Chad, the Golden Finger Picker. What's up, resellers? How is everybody doing? It's early in the week. I've been doing great, fantastic. Well, I'm a little bullshit in there, but things have been good.
uh,
What have you
you
been up
folks
to?
want lies? Come here and we'll give them to you. We'll dish them out.
We'll sugarcoat them for you, baby.
Yeah. Things are good, Ronnie. Kim and I had to take a trip out of town for about 2 days to clear the head. When you catch yourself getting all gaggle screwed and it seems that everything is affecting you, you need to take some time and get away or do whatever you do that helps you address issues like that, and then just start fresh and start over and go. Yes, it is pork soda. Correct.
What? Pork soda?
Yeah, pork soda.
Yeah, Krillin, we get her
Here's some
early tonight.
Hello, girl. I think she's getting ready to go night. She got 2 teeth on the bottom.
Oh, she looked like a can opener in a restaurant.
Yeah. What are you doing?
She's going night.
Yeah, she's a
Say
big
hi,
girl.
Ronnie.
Hello. Bye. Night.
Peace out.
Good night.
Night.
Yes. I've been sacrificing the Selena moment for the Addie moment, so it's all good.
Your camera seems a little out of focus.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe it's because I don't have my hat on.
But yeah, I mean, I can't complain. Sales have been really good this month. But there's a big difference. My sales increasing though. Been listening.
Well, dude, I have said this a million times, and I'll say it again, that whenever I'm listing, I'm selling. I can stop listing on a Friday, and Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the sales will come in because of what I listed on Friday. And if I don't list, then it'll drop off, maybe 1 or 2. I might even get some big fat donuts. Let's say on Thursday, I start listing again, and literally it's like you just turn the faucet on. It's so in your face that it's a no-brainer. Be listing. If you want to sell stuff, be listing. We've said that for I don't know how long, and I think it's important to say that you need to be selling stuff that people want. I mean, because we used to say anything will sell, anything will sell, anything will sell. If you want your item to sell anytime soon, you need to be listing stuff that people want, and it's I listed some of this stuff we got from our trip, and it's sold. I shipped 5 of them out today. It's like, it just goes to show, if you're listing, or me anyway, I'm selling. And Ronnie, you brought it up, you've been seeing people complaining about slow sales again, and sales should be picking up for people.
I mean, on my dashboard, it says overall eBay is up 9%. So, and I'm up 47, between 45 and 52, 55%. It just depends on the day, because like one day it comes off like $400 in sales. I may only do 200. Then it's kind of interesting to see all these new eBay things that you have. It's interesting. But I mean, I've listed more this month. I've listed 147 items than I've listed, I think, in the last 3 months. I don't think I've listed that many items. So it's a give and take. I'm barely keeping up with what I'm selling.
And that's a good thing. I mean, those are the problems you want. I mean, you want to be your inventory getting low. I mean, you need to be in this position to where, oh, I need to get out and source, or I need to get out and because things are flying off the shelves. That's a good problem to have. Actually, my sales for this month I'll look them up real quick, are up. I passed the 6,000 mark this month, and I haven't really done anything. I mean, I've done it in spurts, but it's just.
Yeah, you haven't done much in like the last probably 10 days, I would say.
Yeah. And it really, really shows. It shows September. I mean, September 3rd, I had a $600 day. September 4th, I have a $721 day. September 5th, I had a $1,037 day. And then on the 8th, 400. On the 15th, 800, and then those are the spurts, and it shows that at the beginning of the month I had listed a bunch, and then a couple days after that I listed some, had a killer day, literally sold everything I listed. Then a couple days later, and then I averaged a $300 day, 200, 200, and then 850, and I can look at this and it shows, yes, I listed there, I listed there, I listed there, I listed there. But my sales are up 12.9%, compared to, it's showing me that the market was down 6.2%, and I'm up 12.9.
Like mine, I think mine, it talks about suits, sport coats, and casual shirts. So I think everybody's is going to be different. It like draws in a few of the highest probably areas that you sell in. Like yours would probably be somewhere in electronics, something else. I would assume like video games, maybe. I don't know. Which video games always seems to be a hot market if you find the right video games.
Yeah, and I've been coming across a lot of video games lately. So, Chad, did you list some of the backlog in your garage? Not yet. I've been talking to Ronnie about this all week. Chad's got this big to-do list that he needs to be doing, and getting a grasp on some stuff, from getting certain things listed to getting videos done that I've wanted to get done. And it's not that I've been down. I've been very distracted with what's going on in our country. And I don't mind saying that. I'm 100% open and honest that I get distracted when it comes to what happens in our country. I'm very tuned in to what's going on, and sometimes I get a little bit entrenched in it. But that's me,
I unfortunately, I don't care unless it affects me. Like, I see it, I understand it. No different than those two freaking blowhards freaking talking crap last night. I mean, I stayed up, I don't know what it was, hour and 40 minutes or whatever, hour and a half. I forgot exactly how long it was. But, I mean, when I hear people go, oh, Clinton schooled him or Trump, it's like I don't necessarily like either one for different reasons. Mm-hmm. But it's like nobody took anybody. I mean, it's you're a fan of that person, so of course you're going to say, oh, they won, or you're a Democrat or Republican or whatever. It's like, man.
Or unless you're an open-minded, critical thinker like myself. I saw issues with both of them last night that I wasn't satisfied with the performance. So, yeah.
I mean, it drove me crazy that when she said something about, you were given $14 million, he had to fight about that. Like, dude, fight about something else. Like, who cares about the number? You know what I mean? You were given $1 million or $2 million or whatever. Okay, it wasn't 14 million. He had to fight about that. Like, it was a big deal. It's like, it's like, dude, relax. I mean, she looked like a big freaking tomato with that red. I mean, I'm wearing a red shirt today, but shit.
Reseller network, tread lightly, my friend.
I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, Trump, I kind of, he's the businessman. Maybe he has more things at making jobs than anybody else. So maybe he'll come across a little bit better. I mean, she has to be the most crooked politician ever, or close to it.
Did we really decide to go there tonight? I had no idea you were gonna.
I don't know where we came from this, but let's just go to a different subject. Because I don't know why. I'm gonna have to learn.
I mean, it's your channel. You can do whatever you want.
We'll get a few extra dislikes. Yeah.
No, it ain't no biggie.
It's an opinion. I mean, it's no different than long tail, short tail, free shipping, no shipping, charge shipping. It's like, don't get all crazy. Don't be leaving me comments later on tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for coming tonight. Looks like we got a full house. Thank you. And I do have a story for a little bit later. It's one of the story time. But I think I may have brought it up before once or twice, but it's been a while. Chad sell his hair on eBay. Whatever. Jeezy.
Well, somebody was just complaining about my cords being all tangled up and they won't untangle.
Oh. It is good to see everybody in the chat. I've been away for a little bit, believe it or not, I think. We had the week before we had the reseller pulse, and I just was not there. I mean, I was there, but I was not there. So, but yes, in this story time, folks, I'm going to be using, and it's a negative story, and I'm using names, places, so you can do with it as you please. But yes, we are dropping names tonight.
Oh, you're a funny dude.
Chad's office is getting more cluttered. Now, I actually had to move some stuff around. Kim needed Dick. So,
what?
Kim needed the mannequin, Dick. We call him Dick. The mannequin I have my jacket on.
Maybe found a boyfriend or something. I was confused for a moment. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and you got some. Oh, check this out, Ronnie. Guys, this is awesome. Somebody had sent this to me. They picked it up. It's a 1979 Bee Gees fan club packet. And it is just in excellent shape. It's got a record. It's the fan club record. And, I mean, it's like brand spanking new. Never been used. And it's got all kinds of leaflets and flyers and just all that stuff, back in the day when you didn't have the internet, and this was if you were a hardcore fan of anybody and they had a fan club and you got stuff like this, it was a huge deal. But yeah, it was, somebody found it and they said, I know you like Bee Gees. I would love to, send it to you. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I really, really do appreciate it. And it's going to find a nice spot. I don't know. I might clear it all out. I don't know. But I don't want to mention their name because I don't know if I didn't ask them if I could use their name publicly, so I won't at this point. But yeah, very cool stuff. You were out quite a bit yesterday and today, weren't you?
I was out yesterday. I had a doctor's appointment, so I went out. I was in the area down by Providence, so went out, did some things. Today, I didn't really do much today. I literally just stayed home. I did some inventory of a few things and just kicking it back at the house. It was kind of relaxing because I've been just at it so much lately that I just needed a day to relax. I think I watched a movie with the wife. We didn't even finish the movie. It was some stupid movie. We didn't even finish it. And then we took a nap and then got back up. But that's been it. I mean, I've been really trying to increase my sales because my sales have been down over the summer. I wasn't really messing with it as much. But September's last year was my best month ever. Recent no, well, it was like it was a good month last year. I did almost 12,000, and I think if you include shipping, it was like 13. So it was a really good month. So this month, I really wanted to try and focus and bring it up. Biggest thing is I find I'm being so picky with what I pick up. Just so many things I'm leaving behind because they're either not selling as fast as I like, or they're not bringing the return I like. I will sit on something, especially a men's suit. If I'm buying it for $10 and I can get 150 for it, it might take 6 months. Like, to me, that's a good thing. I'll sit on that return for that long.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of quick returns. I mean, quick profit things. Like if you have a store, and I think too many people try to compare themselves with like my sales, because I've been having a good month. There's a reseller I talk to all the time. She lives close to me, but it's like I have 5 times the inventory. So when I say, oh, I had to ship out 10 things, she's like, I had 2, and she tries to compare, and it's like really no comparison, because you have so many different things and stuff like that. So it's really hard to compare when you have 2 different size stores and stuff like that, and you have different stuff in your stores too. And she's a lot more women's clothing as I'm more men's clothing and stuff like that. We all have different price points and stuff like that too. I mean,
Right.
Probably the biggest thing I see with people's slow sales and stuff like that is they just don't have the items that are in demand at that moment. Like all summer long, I had a lot of suits, sport coats, winter jackets. That stuff wasn't selling in the summer. Now it's starting to pick up. I'm starting to sell a lot of those things I collected over the summer. It's like I looked up. Just before we did this, I was looking on eBay, and I was looking at a few things that sold and had a lot of watchers over the last few days that I listed. Like there was a Polo Ralph Lauren vintage Polo Bears polo shirt, had like the bear all over print. And if you know what I'm talking about, they sell usually fairly well. And one day that had over 100 views and something like 8 watchers in one day. And that sold it sold like shortly after that in one day for $121. And I didn't price it that low either or anything like that. And another one was a Vineyard Vine shirt that was up like a week, and it had 14 watchers, and it sold for like $35. So, I mean, you have to look for items that are in demand. People are looking for them, hot brands and stuff like that. I put up some women's jeans, and those things are barely getting any views.
Yeah.
But, I mean, am I going to leave them behind? No, but I got to get into them cheap enough to deal with it.
Right on, right on, right on. Yeah, this pickup, Kim found this shirt when we were in Panama City. It is Primus pork soda, and it's actually probably 30. It's a concert tee, probably 35, $40. I'll wear it a couple times and then probably sell it. I'm not like super up on their music, but really cool shirt. So I was excited to wear this tonight. I've got this one. I don't know if you're an 80s person, you can. I may have wore this one before.
He still makes music.
Bon Jovi. Yeah.
He sucks.
This is the 2007. But yeah. Love Bon Jovi back then. Not so much now. But yes. Yes, the shirt is amazing. I love my shirts.
It's a good place to be, Jeff. Let me tell you.
What?
He says I'm trying to get into women's pants. It's a good place to be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I had a little bit of an issue with a return, Ronnie. I sold a reel-to-reel for $249 with $50 shipping. Had the video in my listing of it working perfectly. I mean, it was a great reel-to-reel. He got it, and he said it's just not working right. It's not rewinding right, and it's not playing at the right speed. And so I'm like, what? I mean, I automatically accepted a return. I will automatically accept a return. And I even paid to ship it back. And it only cost $22 for the return label, and it came back priority mail. And I got it back in like 2 days. It's like, wow. But I got it back, plugged it in this morning, and hooked it up and played. It works perfectly. I'm like, what is going on? This thing is running the way it should run, and I don't understand. And so I sent him a message back saying, if you don't mind, could you go through this again with me and tell me what's wrong with it or what you saw was wrong with it? And he went down this big laundry list saying, when I go to rewind it, it stops at about 3/4 of the tape. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, there's these splicing things you can put in on your tape that will automatically stop it when it senses that splice in the tape. So I'm like, okay. I just kind of blew that off. And then he said, when I'm playing this reel I got, it would be playing, and all of a sudden it starts playing at a different speed. And I'm thinking, what's happened is somebody has recorded on one speed and then stopped it and recorded on another speed. And it was playing at that speed, and I didn't even ask him because I double checked it, and it doesn't change speeds during recording. But what I was hoping to do when I was talking to the buyer was to see if, he's like, well, I just really, and then at that point I would say, look, eBay, but there was none of that. So yes, I'm going to take the return and move on, but I'm explaining to you the process I went through. And, so I sent him a message saying, hey, I really appreciate it. And he thanked me for taking the return back, and he was glad I got it back so quick. And I thanked him, and I said, okay, I'll go ahead and refund you when I get into the office in the morning, because I was actually in a hurry to get in here and get the show started. So I'll refund him his money. I'll double check it one more time, and then I'll just sell it again. It sold within like 12 hours the last time I listed it. So, if it sells once, it'll sell it again. I'll just take a little beating on the shipping, but it's just a part of it. I'm not upset at all. But I will double check to make sure that it is functioning properly. But yes, I took the return, and I'm moving on. And I guarantee I'll get a positive feedback out of it. So
yeah. It's just part of, unfortunately, doing business returns. I mean, I remember having 3 returns on one day for like $800. I was like floored by that. I was like, what the hell is going on? But within 2 days, I sold one of the other things for $100 more than what the offer I took. So in the end of the day, I wasn't upset at whatsoever about it. I never get too upset about returns. I'm arguing with somebody right now that sent me pictures of a shirt that got damaged in shipping, and it's through one of those, like, the button got damaged on it. And I don't know how the button got damaged, a few of the buttons. But it was sent to like one of those companies that then again send it to Japan. So instead of dealing with the buyer, I'm dealing with them. And it's like, I'm like, just send the shirt back. And they're like, well, we technically don't have the shirt. The buyer doesn't want to return the shirt. But they're sending me pictures of it. It's definitely the shirt. But I'm like, how the hell did these buttons get damaged?
Yeah.
It's like, what happened? I bitched at them. I haven't heard back from them in like 2 days, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen there. I told them I would agree to I said like a 25% discount. It was a $125 item. I said, if you want 25%, I'll do that. Or less, I have to have the item back.
Yeah.
I said, you figure it out.
I was talking with Oh my gosh. Speed Trap Collectibles, I believe. Yeah, Speed Trap. Yeah, Todd. He sells Hot Wheels. And I've never really thought about this, Ronnie. And I mean, I think it's something everybody can learn from. He had sold a Hot Wheel, brand new in the blister pack or whatever Hot Wheel. I mean, and it's worth some money. I think he had it listed for like $100 and something bucks just for this one Hot Wheel. But on stuff like that, you still need to look at your item, because he was talking to me about his customer was a little pissed off because when he got it, not only did he have to pay custom fees on it up in Canada, he says there was a chip in the paint on the car that's inside the blister pack. And I guess for like these big collectors that's going to pay a lot of money for these, I guess that is a legit beef. But I would also look at that as a factory defect too. But what do you guys think about that in the chat? Something that's brand new in a sealed case that might have a defect on it. Are you responsible for a not as described item? You know, because I mean, you're saying it's brand new in the box. It is brand new in the box, but it has a defect. So yeah, I guess it is kind of an error car because it made it out with without it them catching the chip in the paint. Yeah, Hot Wheels collectors are very picky, Resale Network says. That's true. I mean, they can be anal.
I mean, we ran into some other people selling similar stuff in groups and stuff like that. Something, even though it has it's still newer tags, but it's 30 years old and there's some type of issues with it, and they try to pass it off still as it's like newer tags.
Remember this? Was it a Star Wars?
Moldy ass stuff.
Oh my gosh. This thing was mold. It was like a carry case, wasn't it? Yeah. For like Star Wars figures. And this thing was moldy. I mean, it was nasty. It looked like it had been in a flood. That's about what it looked like, because it had the brown like dirt. You know, after it all dries out, you got that film of brown dirt. And the dude was describing it as, and he was a reseller, describing it as new, brand new. Well, it still had that thing around it, so it's new. It's like, wow. But yeah, I don't know how new this Hot Wheel was. I mean, I don't know if it was an older generation, or I think he said something about a Nairo series or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, we had a question before, if you want to answer. It said, what excites you the most about reselling?
My excitement's in the treasure hunting. My excitement is bringing something back to life that many times would end up being thrown away. So what about you?
It's the hunt. Definitely is the most rewarding part of the business. I mean, that's what I think we all love to do, is go out there and find something. And then when we find something good, and I think it's a two-part question, because then we get the high when we get that ching-ching from selling that item.
Yeah.
You know, once you sell the item, you relive it all over again. Like, oh my God, I remember when I got that. Especially in the good items, it's like, damn. And it's, for whatever reason, most of my bigger sales have all happened like within the day of putting something on eBay. I mean, I think my top four of the five of my top sales have been all things I've sold like within a day. So I mean, they're always great things when something sells so fast. You're like,
yeah. Well, somebody had asked me today, Ronnie. You know, they're saying I'm just not really finding anything at the yards. I mean, at the thrift stores, and how can I up my game? I'm only doing $400 to $600 a month, and I'm just not able to find this stuff. And I asked, I just flat out asked, and that's what I'm asking anymore. I said, have you seen my video where I talk about the business cards? You need to be thinking outside the box. And so that's one of the sourcing is like a very big part of being successful in this business, because you have to get the stuff to sell it. And if you're not finding anything, I mean, if in your mind you're thinking, I'm not finding anything, so I'm not able to add to my inventories, then therefore I'm not going to be able to sell, then you need to think about how you're sourcing. So
Yeah, I mean, I do love the business card idea. I tried it, had little success from it, but I will give it another try here very soon. I'm just knee deep in too many things going on at the moment.
yeah.
But
Well, all the thrift stores in Panama City has got my card up now. I mean, of course I did it, but I will only like entertain, higher dollar items being that far away and like meeting somebody, but I'm going to throw them out there anyway. I don't care.
well, it doesn't cost you much to put a business card out there.
Nope, not at all.
You get enough of them. Don't be printing off 10 and being like, okay, being stingy as fuck with your business cards. Like, you got to put them out there.
You can't be stingy. I mean, if I give somebody a card and go, oh, I got some friends, I'll give them a stack of them. It's like, yeah, go. Cool. But you guys hear he's talking about this stuff all the time, and it's like he's talking about business cards again. He's talking about, I mean, it's almost like when something works and you know it works, you want to pass that information on. So it's just.
Well, I think a lot with business cards, a lot of people have an issue with putting themselves out there. That they're
afraid to talk.
I think that's a big issue. I'm not too much against it. Like, most of the estate sale companies know what I do. They know what our niche is. They'll even tell us like, oh my God, next week we're gonna have this great set. You know what I mean? We get heads up on stuff, and I think they want to get rid of stuff. They don't want to keep anything.
Well, let me put it to everybody like this. Do you see the people who are saying promote yourself as a reseller? Do you see us sitting back saying, complaining about slow sales, complaining that there's nothing around to source? No, you don't. Okay. And I think that says a lot. For somebody to say slim pickings here, it's slim pickings here, you're not going to hear me say it's slim pickings here, because there's so many different avenues to source. But if you just look at thrift stores, you could be in trouble. I could be in trouble if that's all we looked at, because, it's hit and miss with thrift stores. How do you fill the gap? How do you fill the gap?
Business cards too is also, you really kind of have to, not always, but you're paying up usually a little bit more than what you would pay for at thrift stores and stuff like that. And I think some people are just turned off about paying up for things. Like, they just don't want to do it. I don't know if it's getting over a certain hump or something in your business, but usually at some point you got to do it to stay ahead.
I've definitely paid up on the stuff I've gotten through the cards. I've paid more money for it, but my return has been much bigger than, the typical thrift store item, even the decent finds. Ronnie, what do you do with your dead stock after a year? They're talking about Pete's video he put out.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't either.
I'm behind on my videos by a few days, but for the most part, when I get to, I usually purge inventory once a year. Usually, we'll just do auctions. We've always done it. We never have good luck with it, but we just get rid of some stuff that's just been sitting around, like certain thing. Like, for instance, I have a bunch of 3-button sport coats. They're not really 3-button sport coats are kind of out right now. I still pick them up from here and there, but a few of them I'm probably gonna try to auction off here and move them, or some ones that have floors in them. After I picked them up, I realized that they had issues. Try to get rid of those just because I don't want them in the store and they don't move as fast as I would like them to be. So if I could break even, make a little bit of money, but I'm clearing up space, I'm getting money back to reinvest in other items that probably can make me money.
Yeah. I kind of don't understand this question because I just kind of explained it. But Krillin asked Chad, maybe you live in a better place for sourcing. If you live in Idaho, where do you get your merchandise? And that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't have to just depend on thrift stores. That's why it's important. If you live around people, guess what? People have stuff to sell. Okay. And that's who you need to network. If you don't have any thrift stores in your area, you need to be working on your local game, dealing with people. Put an ad in the local newspaper. You can, look on Facebook pages. But once you start meeting people, going to auctions, passing this stuff out, go up to somebody in an auction after they've bought something and say, hey, would you be interested in, selling that item? Maybe like you can get an idea from that person. Yeah or no, or, but if you don't live near a city, country folks sell stuff all the time. See, don't limit yourself. See, I think that's a really big, where people's like, they're coming up with excuses and reasons why they have absolutely no place to source. And if you have no place to source, then you're in the wrong business of reselling. I mean, if you live in the middle of Alaska, reselling might not be a good business for you to be in. I mean, that's just, I guess that's kind of being blunt. It's like being a snow cone vendor or an ice cream vendor in Alaska. It's like, it just doesn't work, or, you don't see bathing suits in Alaska department stores. I mean, it just doesn't work. I mean, I think those are givens, and I don't talk about, I mean, if you live out in the middle of nowhere, then reselling probably isn't going to work for you. Just like it wouldn't work for you to have a brick and mortar store out of your home or next to your home when the closest people to you are 10 miles away. I mean, there's this kind of common sense stuff, and I'm not, yeah.
I mean, talking about what you just said, I think about it, and for someone that wanted to move closer to my parents, and I've talked about this a bunch of different times. My parents live in the middle of upstate New York, outside of Cooperstown. There is literally 2 thrift stores for 60 miles. Yeah. Literally, you have to go to Albany, Binghamton, Utica, Rome, Ithaca area to get stuff, and it's an hour away. So in that sense, you have to look at other avenues to get stuff. Either you're going to do one or two things. They do have estate sales pretty regularly, so you could get into estate sales. There's yard sales. There's also what do you want to call it? Auctions. Like, there's country auctions. Like, if you went into auctionzip.com, you went into your thing. There's literally, I think, 6 or 7 auctions that run within 30 miles of that area every week. You could literally, and they show pictures. A majority of them show pictures, so you have an idea of what there is. So, I mean, yeah, you'd have to change your niche to something else, but there is ways to make money. And I think that people get hung up in one certain thing or another.
Well, I think it's that hustler mentality that we all talk about of no matter where you are, you'll be able to pick this up. Like moving from Indiana to Florida, we've talked about this. Totally different when it comes to items to source. Totally different. It took just a little bit of time to get our bearings and figure out what's what they have here, what's selling here, what's a good buy, and it's different wherever you go. If I went, I would. That's why I keep saying it's more of a mindset, when it comes to doing this, because you are your own limit. Okay. If you're sitting here saying there's nothing here, there's no place to source, I can't find that good merchandise that Ronnie and Chad finds, then you are building your own wall that you're going to have to climb over. Get that out of your head. Think outside the box, and you're going to start seeing, stuff like business cards, getting your name out there in the community, whether it's a country community, whether it's a Mormon community, whether it's a Amish community. They all wheel and deal. Okay. They all wheel and deal. It doesn't matter where you're at. People buy, people sell, people need, people. I mean, it's nothing changes as far as that. So you need to think like that no matter where you're at, you're going to be able to flip a dollar.
Yeah. I mean, or there's the other thing, and I was going to bring it up, but also Louis touched on it too. You could be like the picker life, and they don't really have much in their town, and then they go out and go for 4 or 5 days, hit up an area, buy up stuff, and then bring it home to resell it, and stock up basically like a bunch of pack rats. I mean, and that's what me and my wife thought. Because our whole day, it was like, if we're going to move to Cooperstown, because I love it there, wintertime, we're going to need something. I was looking at buying a 4x4 Sprinter van and everything. Like, I was going to get this down one way or the other. Up there, you need a 4-wheel drive. I'm not going to be doing that. Or just outfit my truck and bring a trailer behind with me would be the other option. But there's always ways to do things. You just have to really figure out what's best for you and how to do it. I mean, there's online auctions. You can buy stuff off of eBay. You can search Craigslist. I mean, there's just so many different ways that you could make this business work. It's just finding a niche really to make it work.
Right. Yes. Okay, I haven't really seen any questions. What do you put on your business card? What we did is we put our name, buy, sell, trade, our city, our phone number, and my email. And then on the back, I'd put our YouTube and our Facebook channel. And that's all you need. Buy, sell, trade. Buy, sell, trade. And you can put, like, on the back, if you don't have that stuff, you could put a list of stuff. Video games, kitchen appliances. I mean, you can put whatever you want. Children's toys, vintage toys, antiques. And, I mean, you can just keep it simple. Keep it simple.
If anybody wants Chad's telephone number, $10 after the show, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
But,
that didn't show up, did it? I put my hand over it.
But if you want it, I'll let you know what it is.
Oh, thanks.
A lot of people are talking about, because I said it before, 3-button suit jackets are undesirable. They're just out of style right now. That's all it is. 2 buttons are in. It's just a different fit of jacket, and that fit is not in right now. But like anything, it just recirculates every few years. Something's out of style. They'll be back in style probably in another year or something like that. Do they sell? They do still sell. I sell them. I just sold a Canali 3-button the other day. They do still sell. Not everybody likes a 2-button. Some, you might have someone. I would think older people that are used to wearing a 3-button or like even a double-breasted suit jacket would buy them because they're used to buying them. That's something that they're comfortable wearing. They're not worried about, as younger people, I would think would buy what's currently in style, like a slimmer fitting 2-button suit.
Yeah. Well, Ronnie, here's a question for you. In your opinion, do you think men make better resellers than women, or vice versa?
No, I think it's all about your heart and your hustle. If you
I,
got to hustle, that's what it
I
comes down to.
I totally agree. I would put Kim's picking skills up to anybody. Um, I'd put her negotiating skills up to anybody's out there, anybody's, and it's a mutual respect thing. And I know a lot of really good female resellers, and I know a lot of good men resellers. Everybody brings their own strengths to the table and weaknesses. Absolutely. Are there any particular items you're stocking up on for Christmas season? I don't do anything different. I've had one of those stupid Atlantic mold Christmas trees. I got it listed right at the end of Christmas season. I picked it up like in December 28th or something, and I got it listed in January, and I've had it in my store, and throughout the year I've been watching it, and now I'm starting to get more watchers and more views on it, and I'm confident that the tree will sell. It's a ceramic tree, for those of you who don't know, that plug in and that has the little plastic lights on it, and I'm confident it'll sell within the month.
So you've had it listed for the last.
Yeah. But I mean, I just, all I do is put it on, continue to relist until it sells. I mean, it's been sitting on a shelf. Yeah, it's taking up some space, but I just missed. I sold like 3 of them last year, before Christmas. But I picked this one up so cheap. It's like, it's still worth picking up. And I had a couple offers during the summer that were just too low, and I just didn't take them. But yes, Atlantic mold. Those are the ones you need to be picking up as far as the ceramic Christmas trees. They have the different tiers. The more tiers you can get, the better it is.
Yeah, I think for myself, I don't necessarily. I don't sit on anything. Everything gets listed when I buy it. If I'm buying a sweater in June, I'm putting it on eBay. I get a leather jacket. It just goes on eBay. It sells when it sells. I put it for the price I want. If it takes till September to sell, so be it. If I was putting stuff away, I would forget about stuff. I'd be pulling it out like God knows when. I feel that it's just not. I don't know. I just feel it's not good business. You want to buy something and sell it quick as possible. Why are you going to hold on to it? I understand it might not be the season. If you got an eBay store, what's it, 10 cents or 20 cents to list it a month? Like, just list it. Get it done. Get it up.
Yeah, I agree with Ronnie. I don't go out and buy Christmas stuff or Halloween stuff or anything like that at all. I bought the pinhead mask because I think it's cool, only to put it on my shelf. So, but yeah. What?
Somebody said if what was it, Ronnie? Did you ever try out for one of those chef cooking shows? I did try to be a contestant. I filled out the paperwork online, but I never did get nominated for it. It was for the one with Chef Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen. And then a restaurant I used to work at, and they took a huge hit after I worked there. They went down the tubes. The owners, like a big time drunk. He just lost control of his restaurant. Like 6 years later, he got contacted by the other show, Chef Ramsay, where he goes into the kitchens or restaurants and like tearing them apart and figure out what's wrong with them. They contacted his show and everything. Contacted him about his restaurant because he tried to get on there. And the reason why he didn't go on there is they wanted him to look worse than he did. They wanted him to like play this part that it was like a failing restaurant and make him look really bad. He was like, oh no, hell, forget this bullshit. So they want to make it look bigger than what it really is for TV. He's just like,
Yeah. Berta Bell asked, did you ever sell those breathe right strips? I bought those breathe right strips for me because I was snoring and it was bothering Kim. So I'm like, I think I bought, I don't know, 1,000 of them or something. They were pretty cheap, but I bought them for me, not to resell. They're still up there, and she keeps kicking me every night because I put on some weight, so I need to lose that weight. I never snored until I put on the weight.
You're like a freight train.
Yeah. What did I see here? Nathan Finley says, I've been listening to Chad a lot, and let me tell you, his plan works. It's, what he's talking about is the simple being super competitive on your pricing for a quick sale, get in and get out, and make a very good profit on it. But it only works if you're able to buy low. That's the key to this, is buying low. So, but you don't have to do it on every single item either. And no, I'm not writing an ebook. Yes.
If you did, Chad, what would your ebook be on?
Oh my gosh. What would my ebook be on? Probably how to make $1 million in 10 days. I could do it.
Let's go. 10 days on YouTube, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Channel. Let's go. It'd be great information.
I'll just tell you what it is. How to make $1 million in 10 days. Buy $1 million house, sell it for 2. I mean, really. And that's so many ways, and that's the whole idea of a money grab. So reselling to the oldies. Yes. Okay. Are we ready for the quick
Yeah, why don't you tell your
story?
Gonna put me to sleep at this moment.
Yeah, it'll put you to sleep. Now, and some of you guys may have heard this before, and it is about a record, but it is not about the Beatles record. So what had happened is, I'm a collector of like one-off records, like studio recording records. Back in the old days, you could go into most radio stations, they would have like a studio there, or if they interviewed somebody at the radio station, because that's what you would do. You would go to the radio station to be interviewed, and they would put it on a record, a single record. So it's a studio recording, one record. And what happened was, I had bought this collection, and there was some single recordings. And I went through them, and it's like, who is this guy? And I just played it, and when I was listening to it, and this guy was getting interviewed, and he had just gotten back from the war, World War II, and they were interviewing him about his adventures. Well, come to find out that he was a 5-time ace pilot. His name was Dwayne Beeson. He was from Idaho. And there's actually a museum up there called the Warhawk Museum. And they have his plane. It's called the Boise Bee. A lot of people's probably heard of this. He does have some fame. But what it is this record showed him being interviewed. And he was talking about his experiences and being shot down, and him shooting down these folks and stuff like that. So I'm like, wow, this is really cool. This is what gets me excited, stuff like this. So I was doing some research on this Dwayne Beeson, and found out that there's this museum called the Warhawk Air Museum up in Idaho. And I got a hold of him and say, hey, I've got this record, that's got Dwayne Beeson being interviewed, talking about his experiences. And they're like, oh my gosh, you name your price. There's no known recording of his voice anywhere. And I'm like, ooh, cool. So I'm like, okay, well, let me talk to my wife and I'll get back with you. Well, we did some talking and we're like, something, for a museum, let's donate this to the museum. Well, got a hold of the guy and I'm like, hey, we would like to donate this to your museum. We would like to come up once, because what he wanted to do is take this record and then take it to a recording studio and have it put on a looper, like a digital thing, to where when you walk up to a display, you can push the button, and you can hear what it says. So that's what he goes, what we would love to do is, once we get that done, bring you guys up, have a ceremony, because it's a big deal. He says, I told the family about it, and they are super excited, because I taken a snippet recording of it and sent it to him in a file, and he had taken it to the family, and they were just ecstatic. I mean, because they hadn't heard his voice in years. There's no known recording. So I'm like, wow. I mean, we were really excited. It's like, wow, this is going to be a great thing. And he said that, oh, we're going to take you up in our vintage World War II airplanes, and just a big VIP thing. And it's going to be great, because this was a big thing. And so we're like, okay, I think, we made this is the right thing to do. Well, we sent it to him overnight, and then I never heard back from him. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? Are you serious? A month or two goes by, and I sent a message like, hey, how's this, how's it going getting this thing, transferred? Oh, it's good. We got it at the recording studio, and he's having a little bit of, trouble getting it, it's like, it was like a perfectly sound. I mean, it'd be so easy to do, but he just coming, it's like, really? And, and a little bit later, and I said, hey, we're free. We'd like to come up and check your place out, and check out the museum. And then I wouldn't hear anything about it. I went to their Facebook page because they had a Facebook page. It's the Warhawk Air Museum. And I'm like, why aren't you returning my emails? I was pissed. I mean, I wasn't one of these things. I wasn't feeling entitled that, hey, I want to come and do this because I gave you this record. No, I want to come up and do this because you said that you were going to do this. And we were excited about it. And what's crazy about it is when he says, name your price, I mean, I could have made a ton of money off of this, but, I chose not to. And I'm not saying that, it was just the whole, it just gave me this like pit in my stomach. The same pit I got when I realized this old lady was a scammer with this printer I sold for $2,500. But no, it's just really, I mean, this is a legit museum. Legit. You can go to their website. I'll flat out tell you. I said, we're naming names today. It's the warhawkairmuseum.org. And learn about Dwayne Beeson. I mean, it's a beautiful museum. I have no idea why he blew me off with, here, let me look here and I'll be able to tell you his name. John Paul is who it was. He is the president of the company, and he is the person I was talking with. His name is John Paul. And it's the one that made all the promises and then stuck me and stiffed me after, we gave him this priceless piece that they were so grateful for. And then, you never hear from them again. So, yeah, they got a Facebook page, and it's been a couple of years since I've talked to him about it.
It's been that long?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember you doing it. I don't remember being that long ago. I mean, maybe it has been.
No, we did it when we were living in Indiana. This is before we moved down here. I don't know if he's a politician or not, but he seemed very grateful and everything else until we got it. And then, he turned, it's like, it's just typical. It's just typical. Am I saying he's a con man? No, I think it is a legit museum. As a matter of fact, I know it's a legit museum. And because I've seen news articles and news videos about it, and no, it's just one of those things. It's like, somebody just said it's a lesson learned, Chad. I would probably do it again. And I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess, when it comes to that. My bleeding heart, it's just one of those things. We know we did the right thing as far as giving something back. We were concerned more about the family, giving something back to the family. But he used all this, making promises and, oh, this is just a beautiful thing you're doing. And we want to, treat you to, we want to fly you guys up and then all of a sudden it's like, who are you type thing. And yeah, it's just really disappointing. Yeah, it's Nampa, I think, is where they're at. Let's see. Yes, they're in Nampa, Idaho. Yep.
Alrighty.
But yeah, that's it. And it's like this, guys. I'm not a bad. I don't have like. I'm just upset because of the way that we were treated after we did it. And it's just. I'm not worried about the money or anything else. It's more of the point, I guess. But let's
say I've only sold that bus stop sign I got from the 1930s. I actually sold that the other day to a museum in Long Island, a police museum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say I doubled my money on it, which is good, but they're gonna come and pick it up sometime next week.
Let's see.
I just thought it was cool when you were talking about museum. It was like, yay.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's really cool about, and I'm sure it's not all like that, but something. If you want to be a jerk, when somebody's being very generous to you, that's just the wrong way to do it, if you ask me, especially if they have a platform. But I mean, it's true. I mean, oh, I still have the emails. It's just, I'm like, dude, what's going on? Why are you blowing me off? And then he won't even answer. It's like, that's just messed up, by the way. I think that was the last thing I said. I said, this was just very unprofessional of you. And it's just sad. So, but yeah, that's the story. There's a warplane museum in Rexburg. He flies his planes now and then. Fun to see. I think it would be as a bitter root. I'm a bit bitter about it. Not because of the money aspect. It's just about the way he handled it. And, now if I would have sold it to him, I wouldn't care. I mean, it's like you could do what you want with it.
Yeah, it's just it's just shady.
Yeah.
There was a question here. What item that you sold in 2016 excited you the most? You have sold it.
2016. I don't know, man. I would say for me, 2016, probably the Dragons. That was pretty cool.
Not pretty cool to pack those damn things.
Hey, didn't have a single complaint. They all made it.
That's a good thing, brother. Good thing.
So I was like, that's this year, Chad. It's like, I know.
I think for myself, it would have been either the Griswold frying pan that we got $1,400 for, or the next week when we went to the estate sale at the garage, the old garage, and we picked up the sign rack that had, and we sold the 2 signs from there to one guy for $900. Just because it was cool things that you don't find all the time. It was the whole thing of seeing it, knowing you had to get there at a certain time, basically find it, at the sale. It's just like the whole chain of events that had to happen to make it sell and everything like that. List it, and both of those sold within a day, so it was pretty cool. I mean, the signs, I listed them, and I listed them 25% higher than where they've sold anywhere on WorkPoint because of the rarity. And they sold it within minutes of me putting on eBay, both of them to the same buyer. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
In the Griswold, I got an offer within a few hours, and I held out for like 12 hours on the offer, went to bed, sleeping on it, woke up, and it was like, all right, yeah, 75 into 1,400. I'll take that.
Ronnie, what are those 4 items you mentioned earlier that you sold instantly?
One was the frying pan, the 2 signs, a Brioni suit we sold for $500, sold almost instantly. It sold within a day or so. And then we also sold the Buccinelli Cacelli cashmere and suede women's jacket we sold for $620. That sold within, I think, a few days. I took a best offer on that too.
Yeah.
Most of the higher end things that I've had have sold fairly. I mean, like, I don't know, they're rare, hard to find things. Like the Griswold pan, that Griswold pan is extremely hard to find. Those signs are hard to find. The suit was just one of those things that happened. And I also sold a 100% Laurel Piana cashmere for $500 one time. And that happened very quickly too. I think it's just having the right item at the right time sometimes and getting the right money for it, because there isn't a lot out. Like the Brioni suit was a bigger size. I think it was like a 50 regular, which once you get to like 48, 50 over in that area, there becomes less and less quality men's suits. And if somebody's looking for it, they're going to buy it. They're going to pay.
Right. On the Dragons, I think I've made about 3,000 on them so far. I got about $500 worth left. I got 2 left. And, but yeah, and they were really quick sales. Paid 190, I think, for all of them. And it's not so much that it was the most expensive thing we sold this year. It's just the funnest, the coolest. Yeah. Because there's been other stuff I sold that's made quite a bit more money that it hasn't left a spot in my head.
Somebody's question, what does it take to be banned from eBay? Being a bad seller.
Yeah.
eBay will ban you actually fairly quickly. And they put you through so many hoops, like keeping your money in PayPal, like PayPal jail for 21 days and stuff like that, or do you let you get feedback and things like that. I mean, they have so many certain things in place now to protect buyers and stuff like that. I mean, I've been screwed over by scammers in the past, and I've always got my money back.
Yeah, you know what's strange? You know what's strange is what I've noticed, and I've gotten a few returns over the past month. Nothing big. One of them was a brand new Sonic toothbrush, brand new in the box. And for some reason, it just did not, when you plug it in, the base to put it in, it wouldn't get power. And so I was like, sure, send it back, and I got it back, and sure enough, I tested it, and it does not work. It's brand new. But this reel-to-reel, and this is one thing I've been noticing, that, I mean, he returned the reel-to-reel because it was defective or not working. PayPal hasn't held any of my funds. They don't take it They don't place it on hold or anything like that, and they haven't been doing that at all. And I'm like, man, that's kind of strange, especially on this reel to reel. They didn't hold the funds or anything like that when I got the return. And I don't know if it's happening to anybody else, but PayPal hasn't been putting that, putting a hold on it until the return is done. So
I think eBay and PayPal did that for a little while for whatever reason, but I haven't seen that happen in a while.
yeah,
I
it's
don't know
weird.
why.
I
don't know why they did it. I mean, I guess people spending money before they have it, and then they don't have it in their account to give somebody a refund.
Well, but I have seen it happen on that global shipping that I had where it got broke. That got put on hold on the global shipping. And then I called them. It's like, look, why is this on hold? It got broken in. They're like, oh, yeah, okay. And then they released it. But that's, global shipping is the only time I've seen that it gets put on hold.
It's like they just have somebody pressing buttons like a little monkey behind the screen. We'll hold this guy's money.
They take it out of your bank account, not PayPal.
Well, if you don't have money in
PayPal has never taken anything from my bank account.
Well, if you don't have enough in your PayPal account, it does take from your regular bank account.
No, never. Ever.
If you don't have enough in PayPal, where do you think it comes from?
It goes negative. That happened to me one time. My PayPal said minus $16. I'm like, what the hell?
It always comes out of my PayPal. I mean, out of my backup, which is my checking, and then my third backup is my American Express.
Well, if I order something, if I go on eBay and I don't have enough in my PayPal account, it automatically takes it. But it's me doing the transaction. I don't know. How can they just take it from you without your authorization? No, they've never done that to me. So does anybody else go? They do that as a backup. It comes out of your bank account now. Okay. I mean, it's been forever since I've ever had to, but PayPal's always paid it. And then I go negative on my PayPal and I can either sell something or transfer funds or whatever. But if I'm ever doing something and it's more than what I have, then it will automatically come through my funds. Chad is right. It goes negative. Yeah.
Well, why don't you try it? Tell us if it goes negative again.
Man, I'd have to lose a lot of damn money for it to go negative in PayPal. I haven't.
You know what? Just transfer me the money.
Okay.
I'll transfer it back to you after.
Okay.
Run, where's my money? It's shopping time on Chad, baby.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. We're like an hour and 20 minutes into this little puppy.
Yes, thank you guys for coming. And hey, if you want to go to the Warhawk Air Museum and send them a message saying, how's this Dwayne Beeson display going? And how come you never brought Chad up there to fly in your planes? I mean, that's a once in a lifetime, man, to go up in a P-51 or something like that. And it's like, wow. But yeah, I'm a little bitter about it. It's like telling a kid you're going to Disneyland and then, oh, no, we're not going. But I'm not telling you why we're not going, blah, 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 blah. But yes, I'm a little bitter.
You sound bitter.
Well, would you be? Damn it.
You know what? I would have never gave it for free. You got to pay up. I got bills, honey.
Yeah, but man, I tell you
payments,
what,
car
it
payments.
could have turned out to be. It could have turned out to be such a positive thing because this pilot, he was something special. I mean, he was. And if you guys haven't ever checked into Dwayne Beeson, check his story out. It's just give you a patriotic feeling, and it's really cool. It's really cool. So, but I don't want to take away from Dwayne Beeson, but yeah, this dude at this museum's a douche. But you guys can send him the link to this video.
Chad just. All right, everyone. I want to thank you all for coming through tonight, watching me and Chad just ramble on about God knows whatever we ramble on about. But we'll see y'all later. We thank you for coming out. Hit that like button. Hit the dislike button.
Hit it.
Hit whatever button you want to. Subscribe buttons works really good too. That way you get notifications when we go live or we put out videos, or at least me. But if you want to find Chat, he's at the Golden Finger Pickup. And we'll see you later.
New videos coming out, folks.
I doubt it.